Welcome to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Haslage. It's back to school time again, and though it may be tough for the kids to go from summer vacation mode to school mode, the City of Cleveland and CMSD was there to help. Students in grades kindergarten through 12 attended Mayor Frank Jackson's 10th Annual Youth Summit, held in Cleveland's historic Public Hall. Mayor Frank Jackson spoke to the crowd at the summit, wishing the students a safe and good school year.
We started this in order to kind of put focus on young people. Young people not just in terms of education, but young people in terms of their behavior, safety, all those things that are important to us as older people to ensure the young people have. So I want to again welcome everybody here, be safe, and have a good school year. Thank you very much.
City of Cleveland's Chief of Education, Monica Price, spoke to the group about this year's theme.
This year's theme is conduct, courage, character, and community. And we hope that all of you will be inspired to conduct yourselves and set a positive example for others, have the courage to face and overcome all of your obstacles, and have a sound character to do what is right for yourself and your community.
After the Youth Summit, parents and teachers were invited to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District's Back to School Fair, where students received free backpacks and school supplies, and parents received valuable information on bus schedules, school safety, and other information needed to have a successful school year for their kids. The event also brought plenty of entertainment to the summit, with performances by the CMSD cheerleading squad, hip-hop artist Cernak, and had a chance to get an autograph from Cleveland Browns tight end Gary Barnage. To celebrate the 45th anniversary of the Cleveland Landmarks Commission, Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson presented a proclamation to John D. Simperman. For years, Mr. Simperman had worked alongside the commission to determine which Cleveland buildings or districts should be preserved as historic landmarks.
The Landmarks Commission was started, our first meeting was held on the December 7th, which of course is Pearl Harbor Day. One of the things we felt was happening within the city prior to the Landmarks Commission, that it was almost like a bombing rate of the loss of historic resources of the city. And one of the efforts of the Landmarks Commission was first to do a survey of the historic buildings of the city and then work to try to save them.
In speaking of the architecture of City Hall, Mr. Simperman said the building was designed to inspire those who walk through its doors.
It was an idea that the monumental buildings would inspire people, that this is an important building, just similar to a church building. People go into a church building, they're more reverent. People would come into an important government building, they may have feel some dignity that the building was an important part of their life.
For more information on the Cleveland Landmarks Commission, visit their website at planning.city.cleveland.oh.us and click on Landmarks. The Case Western Reserve University School of Dental Medicine's main clinic is hosting its 4th annual Admitting Day. It's a chance to receive a free dental exam and x-rays. Patients will be treated by dental students under the supervision of faculty members. This year's Admitting Day will be held on October 19th, and time slots are filling up fast. To schedule your appointment, call 216-368-8730 or 216-368-3200. The 6th annual Voices Against Violence took place at Lincoln Park in the historic Tremont neighborhood. The event is a way to create a positive interaction between the police and the community.
I started when I was a commander of the 2nd District here in Tremont at Lincoln Park, and we invite victims of crime, their families, and just the community to come together, talk to the police. If they have issues, talk to the police about those, but if they have circumstances that they need to get out of or they need help with, we'll help them out of that. We'll help them, hook them up with resources that can help them. And we have choirs sing, we have free lunch, we have Mitchell's ice cream. It's just a good interaction with police, and we need that. We need more citizens and police interacting in positive manners, get to know each other, get to trust each other. Today we have the fire department here. They brought their smokehouse so that the kids can learn fire safety. We have a bounce house. We have just it's a fun event for the kids and free food. So how can you go wrong there?
Both support the Cleveland Police Foundation. We do a lot of their fundraisers. We heard what was going on here today. Really nice family event, great cheeseburgers, hot dogs, ice cream. We got ice cream, but we just came out to see the new truck. We did the fundraiser about a couple months ago, and to see actually the idea of let's get the new truck, then let's get the truck wrapped for a positive influence on the kids in the community, and to actually see the truck now, it's fun.
Sometimes, you know, it's hard to get the citizens to come out. You know, we offer free food a lot of times and free resources and education for the kids, and sometimes the community doesn't want to come out, so we got to keep doing them. We're going to keep going until they come out and we meet them somewhere down the line. But yeah, we need more positive interactions. Police need to see us in an atmosphere where we're having a meal, we're just having a conversation, and it's not a tragic situation. It's not a situation where, you know, we have to arrest somebody. This is just a good feel-good event where we get positive interactions.
A family day and safety fair was held in the Union Miles neighborhood at John Adams High School. 4th District Cleveland Police Commander Brandon Coots says the event is a way for the neighborhood to come together and to make a positive connection with Cleveland's police force.
We're here to participate in the festival so people get a chance to meet the officers, get to see some of the things that we do, some of the equipment that we use, and just get to know one another. Anytime we get an opportunity to get in front of the community and to meet community members and to have our officers create one-on-one relationships with the community, it's good for everybody. It's good not only for the community, but especially good for our police officers so they know the people that we're serving.
The day was filled with fun, food, and fellowship. Those who attended not only mingled with local law enforcement, but also spoke with vendors from local businesses. The kids had a lot of fun playing in the bounce houses, getting balloon animals, and high-fiving some of Cleveland's finest. This little girl received a special horse ride from a member of Cleveland's mounted unit, while these boys got their bicycles inspected by an officer from the Bike Patrol unit. Ward 2 Councilman Zach Reed says it doesn't matter what ward you live in, everyone is a part of the Cleveland family.
It's all about family. I mean, we're all one big Cleveland family. I mean, we may be separated by wards, we may be separated by neighborhoods, and sometimes we may be separated by communities. But at the end of the day, we're one big Cleveland family. And that's what this festival is all about, to showcase the fact that although, you know, we may be in Ward 1 or we may be in Ward 2, we might even be in Ward 17. We're asking everybody to come to John Adams on this day to show that we're one big, happy family.
Councilman Zach Reed then joined Al Taylor, Reverend of New York City's Infinity Mennonite Church in downtown Cleveland. Reverend Taylor is in the middle of a 34-day prayer walk to raise awareness against violence. The walk goes from New York to Chicago and is called It's a Love Thing. Councilman Reed spoke to the media about the importance of ending violence in our city.
And think about how you would feel if you lost your son or you lost your daughter. And this is what this walk is all about. That's why he said this is a love thing. Let's start loving on each other here in the city of Cleveland, people.
Community activists from Northeast Ohio and others looking to stop violence joined in on the walk and at a rally that was held at the Old Stone Church.
All of you, thank you for being here, because it's going to take all of us. Whatever we think we're doing is going to take all of us in order to make this stop.
As the Cleveland Museum of Natural History celebrated the opening of its new Sears Garden, it also showcased a very famous sculpture created by famed Cleveland artist Victor Skrezgost. TV20 reporter Dan Monroe was there and has all the details.
In a recent ceremony, the Cleveland Museum of Natural History unveiled the new Larry Sears and Sally Zlotnick Sears Garden. The garden serves as a proper welcoming point to those coming to the museum, says Executive Director and CEO Dr. Evelyn Gates.
We were looking for some way to reach out to the community around the museum, as well as all of the visitors who are coming from the east and the west on I-90 or coming up through what will become Opportunity Corridor, and realizing that our front doors faced into Wade Oval. And we wanted something that would be welcoming and an invitation facing outward.
The highlight of the garden, however, is the installation of famed Cleveland artist Victor Schreckengoss' Mammoth and Mastodon sculpture, which is on loan from the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo.
I knew that Evelyn Gates was working on a new big project at the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. So at a meeting, I just sort of informally asked her, hey, we have this, we think it might be a great opportunity for you. Let me know if you think it might work. She went back to her design team and came up with some really great ideas to be able to repurpose them.
They're life-size sculptures of a mammoth and mastodon, an adult, and then a baby. And to me, they represent the science that we do. They represent the art of University Circle from the Cleveland Institute of Art, where Victor Schreckengoss was on the faculty for many, many years, to the Cleveland Museum of Art, where one of his most famous pieces is on display. And it also represents the history of Ohio, because mammoths and mastodons once trod across all of Ohio, and we find their fossil remains here today. So in a sense, they're coming home.
Afterwards, the crowd moved outside to the garden, where Larry Sears thanked those for their support before the ribbon cutting.
The museum has been a favorite place for our family for many years. We've been members for decades, attending classes, exhibits, lectures, and of course the gift shop. When we learned of the expansion and renovation, we were pleased and honored to be able to provide our support. When we heard about this fabulous garden, it was another opportunity to contribute.
1, 2, 3.
At the Cleveland Museum of Natural History, for TV20, I'm Dan Monroe.
Coming up, we'll show you how local festivals are celebrating our multicultural heritage. Stay tuned.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. And I appreciated it very much, the attention that was given. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome back to TV20 News. Anytime you visit the historic Little Italy, you are sure to have a great time. One of the best times to go, however, is during Holy Rosary Church's Feast of the Assumption celebration. We sent TV20 reporter Dan Monroe to Little Italy to find out what makes this feast so special.
As far as traditions go, Holy Rosary Church's Feast of the Assumption ranks high. For the past 117 years, the church, located off of Mayfield Road in the heart of Little Italy, celebrates the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Father Peter Covacina of the Diocese of Cleveland explains.
The Assumption is celebrating Mary's body and soul entering into heaven. So when her earthly life ended, she received the fullness of the grace of the resurrection. So that is what we are celebrating, that event, and certainly the hope that we will be able to participate and receive that as well. And part of this is also recognizing that human life is sacred.
After the Mass on the last day of the feast, a statue of Mary is held high in procession that winds through the streets of Little Italy. Offerings are given by the revelers and are placed on and around the statue. This is an event witnessed by generations of people. Just ask Angela Saporito, who has been coming down to the feast since she was a little girl some 60 years ago. Now she is here to witness the procession of Mary with her sister, daughter, and grandson Peter.
It's an amazing day for me. It reminds me of my grandmother. She brought me down here when I was this young man's age. I got married at Holy Rosary. It's just an amazing feeling, tradition, sentiment, memories.
How important is tradition to you and your family?
We try to keep it. We have lost all of our ancestors. So now we're trying to maintain all the traditions that they enjoyed with us.
Well, certainly, tradition is very, very important. It's part of, how the church has really evolved, that, we have these traditions, and it really speaks to our culture, to who we are, and it really, in a way, connects us to the ones who've gone before us. You know, like while we were praying, we would pray the rosary in English and Italian and sing in Italian, and it made me think of my great-grandmother.
After the procession, it's time to party. As you walk up Mayfield Road, your senses are overloaded with the sights and sounds of everything that makes the feast so amazing. Vendors throughout the street were selling a wide variety of Italian delicacies. Cannolis, meats, and pastas are just some of the deliciousness that attendees indulged in. A singer entertained the crowd with timeless Italian favorites.
Hey there, you put on your dancing boots and come dance with me. Come dance with me, what an evening it's for, a song, a terpsichore.
If you ask anyone in the street as to what the best food is to eat, well, everyone has an opinion.
Oh, my favorite is the tripe.
You like tripe?
I love tripe. Born and raised on it. Cook it.
Probably pizza and sausage.
Oh my God, Presti's pepperoni bread and Corbo's cannolis.
I was just going to say cannoli.
Without a doubt. Anywhere that you can get an arancini, they're the best in the city.
I love the pizza that's standard. I like the gavadels. I like everything, and especially the bakery. Presti's with the cream puff and Corbo's bakery, you know, with the tiramisu, my favorites.
Tradition and family are the building blocks of Holy Rosary's Feast of the Assumption. It's what started this celebration more than a century ago, and it's what will keep the party going for generations to come. In Little Italy for TV20, I'm Dan Monroe.
The 71st annual One World Day celebration took place at the Cleveland Cultural Gardens. It was a chance to learn about the many ethnicities that make up our gardens and our city.
This is a representation of Cleveland, the different ethnic groups, the different cultures, all that makes Cleveland who it is.
I often get asked in University Circle, what's my favorite place? It's a pretty tough question because we have 40 wonderful education, medical, and arts and cultural organizations. But I look away from all of them and say they're all great. I look right down here and I say, if you want to have a really great day and really learn about what Cleveland's all about, take a stroll in the cultural gardens of Rockefeller Park. It's who we are. What of a city but the people. Thank you, people.
19 people were sworn under oath, officially becoming citizens of the United States at the naturalization ceremony. Judge Dan Polster spoke about how his view on America has changed over the years.
When I was a young boy growing up here in Cleveland, it was common to refer to America as a melting pot. That's what we all said, America's a melting pot. As I've grown older, I've realized that that's not really accurate, because a melting pot suggests we dump everything in, mush it around, and we all come out the same. And that's not how we are in this country. I think it's more accurate to describe our country as a deep and delicious stew. I know each of you has a family recipe for stew, and if you make it correctly, you can taste each ingredient and each spice. And I think that's what we are. We have a pretty good stew going, but each of you has added something, and together we're making something richer and more delicious than any of us could do on our own.
City officials welcomed the newcomers and congratulated them on becoming citizens.
It is. And I want to congratulate all those new citizens who will be sworn in today. Congratulations. And I want to thank you for wanting to be part of America and wanting to be part of Greater Cleveland.
So we want your intelligence, we want your brains and your beauty to be here in the city of Cleveland and to become part of us. This is what makes the city of Cleveland grow through the immigrants. You bring your knowledge, you bring your skills to build our city and to make our city stronger.
To see the 2016 One World Day celebration in its entirety, stay tuned to TV20. Wacky Wear Productions hosted their 26th annual fashion show at the Embassy Suites on Rockside Road. Fashion Under the Big Top brought designers from all over Ohio and surrounding states to compete in categories such as Fashion Knockout Designer, Next Top Runway Female Model, and Queen of the Needle Crochet and Knit Competition. If you are interested in competing or attending next year's show, visit fashiontko.com or call 216-544-7779. Our next story packs a lot of hatitude. And yes, you heard me correctly. The Cleveland branch of the NAACP hosted a hatitude brunch at the Hilton Garden Inn in Mayfield Village. The theme of the fundraiser was changing the value of your crown. While the event drew attention to the extravagant hats, President of the NAACP's Cleveland branch, Michael Nelson, hopes it also draws attention to something even bigger.
Today's event was the first in a series of events that will highlight the importance of the NAACP. But it serves another purpose too, and that is a recruitment tool, because we have to have membership, a collective membership, a critical mass of members so we can continue this fight for freedom.
All types of hats were seen at this event, both small and large, colorful and ornate, and each one with their own story.
The history of this hat, this is the original Donna Vinci. She gears her hats and outfits for normally First Ladies. I am Emeritus First Lady of Friendship Missionary Baptist State Convention, and I am the President of Ohio Women's Auxiliary of the state of Ohio.
What a wonderful afternoon on today here at the NAACP Hatitude Brunch. I tell you, some beautiful hats in the room. Nothing like a sister in her hat. But nevertheless, the NAACP is a vital organization, and they were doing an appeal for everyone to join. And even though I didn't win today with my beautiful hat, I still support the NAACP.
For more information on the Cleveland branch of the NAACP, visit them on Facebook at Cleveland NAACP or their website. Just 2 months after LeBron James out-hustled the Golden State Warriors and won the 2016 NBA Finals, it continues with his new TV show, Cleveland Hustles, on CNBC. Episode 1 featured a fiery salon owner who's been in business in the city of Cleveland for over a decade. She talks about her journey and what it means to be on the show.
Having a business in the city of Cleveland has been challenging and with its ups and downs. But for the most part, I love my community. I love working in the community. I love empowering and mentoring a lot of people in the community. And for me, there was no other place to be but in the inner city in Cleveland. I love it.
When the original Styles of Success burned down in 2011, Shireen debated retiring from the hair business, but she felt like too many people depended on her. So she found another location on St. Clair and kept the hustle going.
But she stayed right in the heart of the inner city, and people are like, why are you down there? Why are you down there? Because she wanted her light to shine brighter. And how better to shine a light than in darkness, right? So that's what I really like about it. The girl is determined with a capital D.
That same determination won her a spot on the show.
I had only like a week and a half to prepare my pitch, my business plan, my presentation, and be able to memorize it to go on. I had 5 minutes to actually show my business, show my product. I had to get my product together in a week and a half, a logo, everything that I had to do in a week and a half, and I got it done. When I got narrowed down to the 8 finalists, I was in shock because I felt like the underdog. These businesses came in and they had great products, great concepts, and most of the time people only look at a hair salon as just hair. It's just a salon. But do they not know that I make just as much money as a doctor? Do we make just as much money? I have a $1 billion industry here. So they knew that and they knew my concept, but what they're buying and what they're banking on is the person. I'm selling me, the brand. I'm my brand, and that's why I made it to the 8 finalists.
She has 3 major keys to a successful business pitch.
One, I just said it, was you are your brand. You have to sell yourself to the investors, because if they don't know who you are, they're not going to even buy your product because they don't know the person they're working with. So number 1 is be your brand, sell your brand. Number 2, know your numbers. That would be number 2. Know your numbers, front and back. And if you know your numbers, you're able to sell your product because the numbers are that important. And number 3, let me think of what the 3, because I just changed it. Number 3 would be everything I just said times 10. You got to know your brand, you got to know who you are, you got to know your numbers, and you got to have a great product. All that has to go in. We had 5 minutes to pitch it, and if you can't get all that in 5 minutes, that's why you didn't make it.
Shireen has worked hard to overcome so many obstacles, and she's truly happy for this opportunity with Cleveland Hustles.
I've been doing things for so long off the camera, and now I'm finally getting the recognition that I deserve. They've been sleeping on me in Cleveland, but now the whole world, nationally and regionally, know who Shireen Fountain is.
The Group Plan Commission, the organization that manages Public Square, has created a way you can enjoy the park every day. One day it may be live music from one of the many talented local artists, or the Friends of the Cleveland Kennel, who have brought dogs that are available to adopt. On Thursdays, the North Union Farmers Market offers food vendors, cooking demonstrations, and more. To find out what's happening daily at the square, visit their website, clevelandpublicsquare.com. Thanks for watching TV20 News. I'm Leah Haslage. Up next, we'll have Christian Patterson with the Inside Sports Report.